everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff, and welcome to one of my favorite videos of the year to make. This video is my most used gear of 2024, and we were filming this video from inside a cave. That seems very fitting. This is a cave that's out by my parents' house. I'm home visiting for the holidays. This is my favorite video of the year, or one of my favorite videos of the year to make for a couple of reasons. And the primary reason is because it lets me kind of reflect on the year, the things I've done, places I've been, and that's always a lot of fun. But the other reason is because this lets you guys get a really good kind of unsaturated look at what I carry and use. And these, what you're going to be seeing in today's video, with a few minor exceptions, are things that I can recommend to anyone 100% of the time. These are the items that I choose to carry the most. These are the items that I like the most, and they do me good. This video is in some way similar to, but different from my knives of the year videos that you guys will have seen a few days ago, a week ago, whatever. But this video is not constrained by, gear that I reviewed this year or new gear for the year. This is just all-time classics. So, let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, and by the way, Happy New Year! I'm going to be posting this on the 1st of January, so happy 2025. Let's hope it's a good one, right? Alright, so I think we're going to start with the boring stuff, get all that out of the way. One thing to say is, this year's a little bit different than years in the past, because this is the first year that I have not worked as a cowboy over the summer. A lot of you will probably know that for the past several years, I've had a seasonal job as a cowboy out in the Rockies, and this year is the first year I haven't done that. So that has changed some of the knives that I carry quite a bit, and some of the gear that I use in general quite a bit, but, it is what it is. We still got some cool stuff to look at. So, like I said, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Start with my backpack. This is the backpack that I use on all my camping and hiking trips. This is a pretty cheap bag made by Outdoor Products, but I enjoy it a whole lot. It does have a water bladder with it, which is really important. Down in the desert, you always want to make sure you have water with you. I have owned 3 of these bags. 2 of them have been stolen from me, which is ridiculous. But yeah, this is a great pack. I use this for, like I said, hiking, camping, field work. This comes really in handy for the field work that I do. I only did one backpacking trip this year, and so my backpack for that application is obviously different. But for hiking, camping, field work, things where I'm outdoors a lot, but I might have, a base of operations I come back to in the evening. This is a great day pack for stuff like that. Let's go ahead and look at a couple of items in here that are really important to me. Number 1 is my field book. This is, of course, where I record measurements and observations that I make while out in the field. Very important stuff. It's got a lot of really incredible research in here. A lot of very important things. See here, there's a couple of sketches I did of some dinosaur bones that I found. Although I think that was in 2023. But yeah, this is made by Write in the Rain. It's a very well-made book. Write in the Rain makes good stuff. I've had this for a couple of years. I've got another one to switch to here in a little bit. We're almost out of space on this one, but absolutely love these books. They do me right. The other thing that goes with that is a pencil. I don't think I have my pencil with me right now, but I do have my pen. We can talk about my pen. This Larry titanium pen is a pen that I carry every single day, whether I'm going to work or I'm out in the mountains. Great pen, pretty affordable, nothing too special. It's a bolt action pen, but it works for me. And then Bic pencils I really enjoy. So there we go. A couple of other items in here. Obviously, we've got my rock hammer. This is from Estwing. This is a 3.5 or 2.5 pound sledge. My bad. Great, great size for a geologist's rock hammer. This is heavy enough to break down most rocks. You know, you can get everything from your soft sandstones to some more heavy-duty metamorphic igneous rocks. Sometimes it takes a couple swings, but, you know, if you're persistent, you can usually get it. But even though it packs a punch, it's not too heavy, and you can carry this all day long, you know, out through the mountains. So that goes with me pretty much everywhere. I keep paracord in here, my first aid kit, which is a work in progress. My really, really nice first aid kit that I spent a long time putting together got stolen, which really, really sucks. But I've got fire making material in here. I also always keep my Work Sharp field sharpener in there. This is probably my most used, in fact, this is my most used sharpening system. I love this thing. It goes everywhere with me. Great, great tool. Gets a whole hell of a lot of use. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it quits right there on the backpack. I should have brought my hiking boots out here. I'm not wearing them right now, but I like Merrell. They make good hiking boots. They're affordable, but they're pretty durable for what you're paying. The pair that I'm running right now are going to have to be replaced here pretty soon, but I've put about 700 miles through those things, and 400 of those miles were in some of the, just heck, more than 400 at this point. A lot of those miles were in some of the most rugged, nasty terrain I've ever seen out in the San Andres Mountains of southern New Mexico. So, you know, great shoes there. I actually just realized that I forgot to talk about two of the most important items that I carry and use every day. Number one being my flashlight, the Olay Artfeld. This goes with me everywhere. Super bright. This is great for exploring mines and stuff. I also like that it has the laser pointer on it. As you guys know, I now work in a natural history museum, and I use this all the time when I'm giving tours to point at things. So that's great. The magnet is really, really cool. Very helpful for when I'm rock hounding and want to test if a material is magnetic. And speaking of rock hounding, the other item, why am I feeling with my left hand when these things are in my left pocket? This is not the specific one I carry all the time, but I do carry a jeweler's loop or a hand lens with me basically every single day. In fact, every single day. This one has two different magnifications. The one that I normally carry just has one, which is a 25 magnification, I believe, but very, very helpful, very useful in identifying rocks and such. Let's go ahead and move on to the stuff that you guys are probably here to see. Let's talk about knives. And actually, first let's talk about a gun. My hiking gun. This is the gun that goes with me basically on every hike. It's a Ruger Wrangler, and I like this because it's easy to carry and it does everything that I need a hiking gun to do, right? 99.99% of the time, this just sits on a holster on my belt. We'll actually talk about the holster here in a second. But, you know, good gun. It's just a 22. I usually keep it loaded with a couple of Federal hollow points, and I like to have some snake shot in there because that's really what I use the most. But good little gun. I like 22 as far as a hiking cartridge goes, kind of a survival cartridge. In my mind, the thing that I'm going to be using this gun for is making noise, shooting snakes, or if shit goes sideways and I end up stranded out somewhere, bringing down small game. And in my bag, I carry 50 rounds of 22. Don't even know they're there. I could carry 100 if I wanted to. You know, you can carry a lot of ammo and not be weighing yourself down. So, you know, I like it a whole lot. This gun's easy to carry, obviously. You know, I like to have the cowboy aesthetic, but good gun. I've beaten the heck out of it. I've had this gun for, I don't even know, quite some time, couple of years, but yeah, that's a good one. Let's talk about the holster real quick. The holster is made by Lindsay Leather out of Glenwood, New Mexico. Great holster. I really enjoy it. No complaints. You can see pretty rugged. This thing has taken, you know, some damage while I've been using it. But yeah, easy gun to carry, easy gun to shoot and use. When it comes to my firearm, the only things that I actually killed with it this year were a rattlesnake and I put a skunk out of its misery after I hit it with my truck. And I practiced shooting it on some prairie dogs when I came home and visited one time in the summer. So, yeah. Ah, fuck, guys. I'm out here on a county road, and I just hit a skunk, but I kind of swerved to avoid him. I slowed way down. I think I hit him, but I don't think he's dead. So, I've got my pistol here with me. We're gonna hop out. We're gonna see if he's alive. Any animal but a skunk. Any animal but a skunk. I would just hop out, see if it's alive, put it out of its misery. With skunks, they're mean, and of course they spray. Oh, we'll see what we got going on here. This could be fun. Yep, poor little guy. Had to double tap him. Man, that sucks. Sorry, buddy. Gosh, I hate that. I freaking hate that. Hitting an animal is bad enough, but then if you don't do them in, it's just that much worse. He was pretty bad. I hit him on the back. So he's pretty much paralyzed from the midway down his back down. Shit. Yeah, that's my hiking gun. I like it quite a bit. Let's go ahead and talk about fixed blades. My favorite fixed blade knife is obviously the Cold Steel SRK. And yeah, I have put my SRK through a bunch of use this year. This is my go-to fixed blade. This, of course, is my second SRK. My original all black one that I had for years and years was stolen last year in one of the events where one of my backpacks was stolen. And that sucks. I missed that knife so much. That knife and I had, a lot of memories together. But the SRK here, this is my newer one. Also like this knife a whole lot. Been putting some use. Been putting it to use. SRK is just a great knife. This is, in my opinion, one of the best fixed blade designs ever, bar none. This thing is just fantastic. Great ergos, great blade. I love the size. Very tough and robust. It's got a sharp spine so you can throw sparks. This one here, you can see it's got the green and the black. I love that color combo. It's one of my go-tos. You might notice my backpack was green. I like to match a lot of my gear. Not for any reason in particular. I just like to have my gear match. When I was doing like field camp, or when I'm doing field research with other geologists and stuff, it's sometimes helpful to have, my gear be instantly recognizable as mine, because sometimes things get mixed up. But yeah, that's my SRK. Love that knife a whole lot. There's another video about the SRK coming out soon, so we're not going to be spending too much time on it. But while we're on the topic of fixed blades, I do have to mention the QSP Canary XL, or the Canary fixed blade, whatever you want to call it. I carried and used this knife a lot, especially in the latter half of the year. This was the fixed blade that I pretty much carried, the only fixed blade I carried. I stopped carrying my SRK and carried this knife just so I could get the review done, so I could get my thoughts together on it. And you have probably seen the review already. In fact, I'm filming this a day before the review is going to be coming out. So you might think that I don't like this knife. I was a little lukewarm on it in my review. I do like this knife. It's a fine knife. It's a good knife. It's just not for me. But yeah, I did use it a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and talk folding knives. So first of all, I've got a couple here in my pocket. And actually, I want to give some honorable mentions to begin with. All right, so these honorable mentions are kind of goofy, but we got the Swisstech Winzig, and the reason I'm throwing it in here as an honorable mention is because I just finished carrying this knife for 2 weeks straight. Nothing but this knife. I carried it before that a little bit as a backup knife. Interesting little item. Stay tuned for the video on that. And the other one is the Civivi Zizzle, which I've been really enjoying. This was a holiday pack knife, but I was carrying this a lot to work. I was carrying this a lot as a backup knife. This knife climbed Sierra Blanca with me. I took it as a backup knife up Sierra Blanca. Just a very, very neat knife, and I imagine I'll be carrying it a lot more going into the new year. Alrighty, but let's go ahead and talk about the real knives on the list, if you will. First of all, Bestech Slasher XL. Love this knife. Got this knife at the end of last year and the beginning of this year. I carried it a ton. This was actually for a while my go-to folding knife for field work. I was taking this out in the desert with me a lot. Love this knife. While I've been home visiting, been helping the folks, feed the cows and do chores around the ranch and stuff. Been using this knife. I wore out the edge on this thing completely. Just put a new edge on this morning. This is just a great work knife. I love the ergos. Good blade shape. Crossbar lock is great. The price is just right. Like that wire clip. Yeah, this is a great, great knife. And it probably should have gotten some kind of award in my Knives of the Year video. Next up, we've got quite a few knives from CJRB to take a look at. You guys know I love CJRB. But number one knife is the Pyrite. Not this version in particular. I did carry this one a lot. This one was new for the year. Love this knife. But the drop point and the Wharncliffe versions, I carried a bunch. Here's one of my drop point Pyrites. I love the Pyrite. I think it's a great, great, great knife. The Pyrite XL, I carried a lot this year too. Yeah, just the Pyrite in, how many of these do I have now? 4 or 5? 5? Counting the XL? Yeah, I carried a lot of Pyrites. They're fun knives. I enjoy them quite a bit. Next up, the Feldspar. In particular, this version of the Feldspar. This is the fancy Feldspar with the steel scales, a button lock, and the Damascus blade. Beautiful Damascus blade. Guys, this knife is so underrated. This thing is awesome. I think this is one of CJRB's best knives ever, and this might be the best version of the Feldspar ever. Fantastic knife. I carried it a ton. And the last CJRB we're going to talk about is the Shale. I love this knife. I carried it a bunch. This got my Knife of the Year award this year. It's a good one, guys. Absolutely, absolutely an incredible knife. Let's see. Do I have another one? Nope. Where did I put the next knife? Okay, I lied. One more CJRB, and then we've got just a couple of other knives to go through, and we'll go through them real quick. The Pyrite Light. I'm putting this one separate from the other Pyrites because this does feel like a different knife to me, but I love this thing. This is an amazing adventure knife. And I'm going to be getting one of the Pyrite Light XLs here very soon. Very, very cool knife. Carried the heck out of it. Next up, kind of a weird one. Or actually, we'll go with this one next. This one's not a weird one. QSP Vault. Love this knife. I carried this a ton. And not this one in particular, but the one that was loaned into me by Old Tonto Guy. I carried a bunch. I carried a lot of knives that he loaned in a lot, including the Vosteed Grind. Really, really carried the snot out of that knife. Really, really enjoyed it. This one he sent to me at the beginning of the year. This is the Steel Wheel Sedge. Love this knife. Holy cow, I carried this knife everywhere for so long. This thing is absolutely incredible. Don't sleep on this one, guys. Check out my review for that knife. I'll bring out a Civivi. The Vision FG just continues to be a badass adventure knife. This is one of my go-tos for hiking. It's durable. I love the lock. Love the blade. It's rugged. Yeah, I love this knife a whole lot. The Vision FG was definitely a winner from them. And it's probably the best thing that they've made in recent years. Although, the Civivi Synergy 3 is really freaking cool. This knife blew me away. I cannot believe how much I've been carrying this knife. I imagine that's going to continue into the new year. This thing is excellent. It's pretty simple in a lot of ways. It's just a liner lock flipper. But, oh my gosh, the blade is great. The action's great. The ergonomics are just phenomenal. I have fallen in love with this knife. Not the price tag. I got this on sale at Blade Show for $45, which is an amazing deal, but these were going for like the $90 range. That's way too much. But this thing is one just amazing knife. I absolutely love that knife. Cannot wait to get the review for that out. And the last one that we're going to be talking about is the Demko 80-20.5 spear point blade. This is probably my new favorite adventure knife. I've been promising to switch out the Ultem scales. We'll get to that, I promise. But, you know, it's everything that you know and love about the 20.5 with a new blade shape, which is incredible. And I'm glad to see them using this blade shape on things like the Nano Shark and the Shark Cub. But yeah, this is one of my favorite hiking, hard-duty folding knives. And that's really it. Though that's the gear that I carried the most this year. Thank you guys so much for watching. Big shout out to my channel members right here. I appreciate everything they do. If you want to become a channel member, there's a button down below. As for the rest of you, if you liked the video, leave a like, comment below, and subscribe. Share the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.